Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered, why? Why are we all here? What's out there? And how does it all work? Well, you're certainly not alone. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Big Why. I'm just as curious as you are about the universe and everything in it. From the depths of the ocean to the furthest reaches of space, no question is too big, no topic too strange for us. We'll crack open the mysteries of black holes, journey to the edge of the universe, and explore the mind-blowing discoveries that are changing our world. So if you're ready to unleash your inner scientist, ask the tough questions, and explore the universe alongside me, then buckle up, and let's ask why. Today we'll be diving headfirst into a philosophical question that has been up for debate for centuries. What are the furthest reaches of human knowledge? Is there a cosmic library containing all truths, just waiting to be unlocked by our curious minds? Or are we forever confined to the limitations of our perception? Philosophers have struggled with finding an answer to this mind-boggling question, and it has yet to meet its match. But who knows? Maybe there isn't a limit, or maybe we're teetering on the edge of what we're capable of. Or maybe, one day, I'll tell the world how you were the one to solve it. Let's go over the factors limiting our knowledge, starting with our senses. We experience the world through a portal called our senses: sight, touch, taste, smell, and hearing. These are the tools that we use to gather information about everything around us. But what if I told you this amazing system has built-in limitations? Let's start with sight. Our eyes are incredible organs, but they can only perceive a tiny sliver of the electromagnetic spectrum. Imagine a vast rainbow, and we can only see a fraction of those colors. Now, think about infrared radiation. We can't see it, but we feel it as heat on a sunny day. Snakes, on the other hand, can perceive infrared, giving them a whole new way to see the world. Similar limitations exist with scale. We can't directly perceive things too small, like atoms or viruses. But with the help of microscopes, we can peer into their unseen world. On the other end of the spectrum, galaxies and vast stretches of space are beyond our unaided vision. We rely on telescopes and powerful instruments to unlock their secrets. Even within the spectrum we can see, perception can be subjective. Colors we see might not be the same as what others perceive. There are even people with variations in color vision experiencing the world in a slightly different palette. These limitations of our senses have a profound impact on how we understand the universe. We can only interpret what our senses deliver, and sometimes that picture is incomplete. Now, we've seen how sight can be deceiving, but what about touch? Surely the feeling of something against our skin provides a clear picture of reality, right? Not quite. Touch, like our other senses, is subjective and limited. Our perception of temperature is a prime example. What feels hot to one person might feel warm to another. This is because our senses of touch relies on receptors in our skin that detect pressure and temperature changes. These receptors vary in sensitivity across different parts of our body. Imagine holding a cup of coffee. The part of your hand holding the cup might feel the heat more intensely than your fingertips briefly brushing against it. This is because areas like your fingertips have a higher concentration of temperature receptors. Furthermore, touch has limitations in what it can perceive. We can feel the texture and temperature of an object, but not its internal structure or composition. To understand the makeup of a rock, for instance, we need instruments that can analyze its material properties beyond what our fingertips can detect. Despite these limitations, touch plays a vital role in our understanding of the world. It allows us to navigate our environment, interact with objects, and experience physical sensations. However, it's important to remember that touch, like sight, provides just one piece of the puzzle. Next up is taste. Those tiny bumps on our tongue called taste buds are responsible for detecting the 5 basic tastes: sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and savory, by the way, which is also called umami. But just like sight and touch, taste has its limitations. First off, taste perception varies greatly between individuals. Genetic differences can affect the number and type of taste receptors on our tongues. This explains why some people find cilantro soapy tasting, while others enjoy its citrusy notes. Second off, taste is heavily influenced by smell. The combined information from our olfactory receptors in the nose and taste buds on the tongue creates the full flavor experience. That's why food often tastes bland when you have a stuffy nose. Finally, taste can be easily tricked. Certain substances can alter our perception of taste. For instance, the coolness of mint can mask the spiciness of chili peppers. Food presentation and our expectations can also influence taste. A beautifully plated dish might taste more delicious than the same food served on a plain plate. Despite these limitations, taste plays a crucial role in our survival. It helps us distinguish between nutritious and potentially harmful foods. Bitter tastes often indicate the presence of toxins, while sweet flavors can signal the presence of energy-rich carbohydrates. Now let's dive into the fascinating world of smell. Our noses, equipped with millions of olfactory receptors, detect a vast array of odors, playing a significant role in taste perception and even triggering memories. But even this powerful sense has its limitations. Similar to taste, smell can be subjective. Genetic variations influence how individuals perceive certain odors. For example, some people might find the scent of a rose intoxicating, while others might find it overpowering. These variations depend on the types and numbers of olfactory receptors a person possesses. Furthermore, our sense of smell can be easily fatigued or overwhelmed. Exposure to a strong odor for an extended period can desensitize our olfactory receptors, making it difficult to detect other smells. This is why walking into a bakery after being outside might make all the pastries smell the same. Additionally, external factors can significantly impact our sense of smell. A stuffy nose due to allergies or a cold can drastically reduce our ability to detect odors. This explains why food often tastes bland when you're congested. Despite these limitations, smell plays a vital role in our lives. It helps us avoid dangers like spoiled food or gas leaks. It also plays a crucial role in emotional responses and memory formation. The scent of freshly baked cookies might bring back warm childhood memories. Now, let's go over hearing. Our ears are marvels of engineering, translating vibrations in the air into sound waves that we interpret as music, speech, and the symphony of the world around us. But even this sophisticated system has its limits. First off, there's a range of audible frequencies. Just like sight has a visible spectrum, hearing has an audible spectrum. We can hear sounds within a certain range of frequencies, typically between 20 Hz and 20,000 Hz. Sound below this range, called infrasound, are inaudible to us, while sounds above it, called ultrasound, escape our detection. This limited range means we miss out on a whole world of sounds. Elephants communicate using infrasound, inaudible to human ears, whereas dogs can hear high-pitched whistles beyond our range. Second off, hearing acuity, or the sharpness of hearing, deteriorates with age. Exposure to loud noises can also damage our hair cells in the ear, leading to hearing loss. This explains why some people struggle to hear conversations in noisy environments or need hearing aids later in life. Finally, our perception of sound can be influenced by our expectations and surroundings. A faint ticking sound might seem much louder at night when everything else is quiet. Likewise, background noise can mask or distort sounds, making it difficult to focus on specific conversations in a crowded room. Despite these limitations, hearing plays a fundamental role in our lives. It allows us to communicate with others, appreciate music and soundscapes, and even navigate our environment through echolocation, a technique used by some people who are blind or visually impaired. We've explored the limitations of our senses, those incredible tools that paint a picture of the world around us. But the real interpretation of that picture happens inside our skulls, in the most complex organ we possess, the brain. However, even this marvel of evolution has its limits when it comes to acquiring knowledge. Our brains are processing powerhouses, constantly receiving information, making connections, and forming memories, but they have a finite capacity. This makes it challenging to grasp complex concepts, especially those involving vast scales or abstract ideas. Now let's explore the role of experience, the cornerstone of our individual understanding of the world. Our experiences from childhood adventures to daily interactions shape our knowledge base, but experiences, like all things, come with their own set of limitations. Firstly, experiences can be biased. Our upbringing, cultural background, and personal beliefs can color how we perceive and interpret the world. For instance, someone who grew up eating mostly meat might find vegetarian dishes strange or unappetizing, while someone raised on a plant-based diet might have the opposite reaction. Secondly, experiences can be incomplete. We can only experience a small fraction of the world around us. Our personal journeys limit our exposure to different cultures, environments, and perspectives. Imagine trying to understand global climate change based solely on your experiences in a single location. You wouldn't get the full picture. These limitations can lead to misunderstandings and skewed knowledge. However, by acknowledging the limitations of our experiences, we can become more open-minded and receptive to the experiences of others. Through travel, education, and open communication, we can broaden our knowledge base and develop a more holistic understanding of the world. Now let's delve into the very tools we use to build knowledge in the face of these limitations: scientific theories and evidence. Science relies on a powerful duo, theories and evidence. Theories are not mere guesses, but well-substantiated explanations of natural phenomena, built upon years of observation and experimentation. They provide a framework for understanding the world around us, from the behavior of atoms to the vastness of galaxies. However, a scientific theory is never truly proven. It's constantly tested and refined. New evidence can challenge existing theories, leading to revisions or even the development of entirely new explanations. Think about the theory of plate tectonics. This theory, which explains the movement of Earth's continents, wasn't always widely accepted. But as scientists gathered more evidence, like the fit of continents and the presence of matching fossils on opposite sides of the ocean, the theory gained traction. The quest for evidence is the driving force of scientific progress. Scientists use a variety of tools to gather evidence, from powerful telescopes peering into the depths of space to intricate microscopes exploring the building blocks of life. Now let's delve into the philosophical realm and explore a theory that questions the very nature of knowledge itself, the representational theory. This theory proposes that our understanding of the world is entirely built upon the information we receive through our senses: sight, touch, smell, taste, and hearing. These are the gateways through which we gather information, and our brains construct a mental representation of reality. But what about things that exist beyond the reach of our senses? Imagine dark matter, the mysterious substance thought to comprise most of the matter in the universe. We can't see it, touch it, or interact with it directly. According to the representational theory, our knowledge of dark matter is limited to the direct evidence we can gather through instruments and scientific models. The origin of the universe presents another fascinating challenge. The Big Bang Theory proposes a moment of creation, but the conditions at that time were far beyond anything our senses could experience. Our understanding relies on complex mathematical models and simulations attempting to recreate a reality we can never directly perceive. The representational theory doesn't suggest we're stuck in a world of illusion. Science has developed powerful tools to extend our senses and gather data beyond our immediate perception. But it does remind us that our knowledge is always an interpretation, a mental representation built upon the limited information our senses provide. Next, we delve into another philosophical debate that has been around for centuries: a priori versus a posteriori knowledge. This debate centers on the fundamental question: where does knowledge come from? Is some knowledge innate, pre-wired into our brains, which is known as a priori, or is all knowledge acquired through experience, a posteriori? Those who believe in a priori knowledge argue that certain truths are self-evident and don't require experience to grasp. For example, the statement, "a bachelor is unmarried," seems true by definition, regardless of whether you've ever met a bachelor. However, those on the a posteriori side argue that all knowledge ultimately stems from experience. Even seemingly self-evident truths rely on our ability to perceive and interact with the world. Without the concept of marriage, the idea of being unmarried wouldn't exist. The limitations of our experience become especially relevant when considering a posteriori knowledge. If all knowledge comes from experience, then what we haven't experienced limits what we can know. Imagine trying to understand the vastness of space or the intricate world of subatomic particles without the benefit of scientific instruments. The a priori versus a posteriori debate highlights the complex relationship between our innate abilities and the world around us. It's likely a combination of both that shapes our understanding. Now let's delve into a theory that shatters assumptions about reality itself: the simulation theory. This mind-bending theory proposes that our entire perceived reality, from the vast cosmos to the blades of grass beneath our feet, might be nothing more than an elaborate computer simulation. Imagine a world so advanced, so meticulously crafted, that it's indistinguishable from what we call reality. The simulation theory raises profound questions. Who created the simulation? What is its purpose? Are we merely characters in a vast digital game, unaware of the true nature of our existence? While the theory may seem like science fiction, it has gained traction among some philosophers and scientists. The rapid advancements in computing power and virtual reality technology make the idea of simulated reality seem less outlandish. However, the simulation theory by its very nature, is difficult to prove or disprove. If we are indeed living in a simulation, the very laws of physics and the nature of reality itself could be designed to keep us from ever truly knowing. Despite its speculative nature, the simulation theory offers a thought-provoking exploration of the limits of human knowledge. It reminds us that our understanding of reality might be far more limited than we imagine. Before we continue with our theories, let's go over language, the very tool we're using to explore these limitations. Language allows us to communicate ideas, share knowledge, and build understanding. But even this powerful tool has its constraints. Language shapes how we perceive the world. The words we have available influence the concepts we can form. For instance, some cultures have multiple words for different types of snow, reflecting their close observation of winter conditions. In contrast, someone from a warmer climate may only have one word for snow, limiting their ability to differentiate its various forms. Language can also be ambiguous. Words can have multiple meanings, leading to misunderstandings. This is especially true when discussing complex scientific concepts or abstract ideas. Imagine trying to explain the theory of relativity using only everyday language. It becomes a challenging task. Furthermore, language is constantly evolving. New words are created and old ones take on new meanings. This can make it difficult to understand historical texts or even conversations across generations. Imagine trying to decipher slang used in old movies or text messages from your grandparents. Despite these limitations, language remains a powerful tool for acquiring and sharing knowledge. By being aware of its limitations, we can choose our words carefully and strive for clear communication. The development of new scientific terminology and technical language allows us to express complex ideas with greater precision. With that being said, we're now going to dive into a theory that proposes language isn't just a tool for communication, but a shaper of thought. The Sapir-Whorf Hypothesis. This hypothesis, named after linguist Edward Sapir and Benjamin Whorf, suggests that the language we speak influences how we perceive and categorize the world around us. The words available to us shape the concepts we can form. For example, a language with the single word for snow might limit the speaker's ability to differentiate between powdery and packed snow. The Sapir-Whorf hypothesis goes beyond concrete objects. It suggests language can even influence how we perceive time, color, or emotions. Cultures with multiple words for different shades of blue might have a more nuanced perception of color compared to cultures with fewer color terms. However, the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis is a complex and debated theory. While language undoubtedly influences our thinking, it's not entirely deterministic. We can still grasp concepts for which we don't have specific words. Learning a new language can also broaden our perception and understanding of the world. Despite its limitations, the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis offers a valuable insight into the relationship between language and thought. It reminds us that our understanding of the world is shaped not just by objective reality, but also by the linguistic lens through which we experience it. Imagine trying to comprehend the sheer immensity of geological time. Our brains are accustomed to the human lifespan, a mere blip in the grand scheme of things. Grasping the concept of millions, even billions of years, become an abstract exercise, pushing the boundaries of our cognitive abilities. And then there's the world of mathematics. Complex equations and abstract concepts can push the limits of our brain's processing power. Understanding the elegance of calculus or the intricacies of quantum mechanics can feel like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. These limitations don't mean we're doomed to ignorance. Science has developed tools to help us overcome them. Telescopes and microscopes extend our perception beyond the limitations of our senses. Models and simulations can help us visualize complex systems, and mathematics itself becomes a powerful language for expressing and understanding these concepts. Now let's dive into a realm crucial to science: measurement. It's straightforward, right? We use rulers, thermometers, microscopes, a plethora of tools to quantify the world around us. But even in this realm of seemingly objective numbers, limitations lurk. The quest for perfect measurement is an ongoing pursuit. Every measurement has a margin of error, a range within which the true value might lie. This error can arise from the limitations of the instruments themselves, the way we use them, or even the inherent properties of what we're measuring. Imagine trying to measure the exact width of a human hair. The instrument itself might have limitations in detecting such tiny distances. Furthermore, some things might be fundamentally unmeasurable with our current technology. For instance, the position and momentum of a subatomic particle can't be known simultaneously with the perfect accuracy according to the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. It's a mind mind-bending concept, but it highlights the limitations of our current tools to capture the full picture of the universe's building blocks. Despite these limitations, the relentless pursuit of accurate measurement is the bedrock of scientific progress. By refining instruments, developing new techniques, and acknowledging the inherent uncertainties, scientists strive to get ever closer to the true value of what they're measuring. Now we dive into the captivating world of mathematics, a realm seemingly built on absolute truths, but a mathematician named Gödel threw a wrench into this idea with his groundbreaking incompleteness theorems. Imagine a vast library containing all mathematical truths expressible within a specific system. Gödel's theorems show this is a fantastical notion. They prove that any system powerful enough to express basic arithmetic will always contain true statements that cannot be proven within that system itself. This means there are inherent limitations with any formal mathematical system. There will always be true statements that remain outside the grasp of our proofs. It's a mind-bending concept suggesting there might be mathematical truths beyond our ability to definitively prove or disprove. Gödel's theorems don't render mathematics meaningless. They do, however, challenge our perception of absolute certainty within the system. Mathematicians continue to explore the implications of these theorems, and they spark fascinating questions about the nature of knowledge itself. Now, throughout this series, we've explored fascinating limitations that shape our pursuit of knowledge, from filters of our senses to the ever-evolving nature of scientific theories. We've seen how our understanding of the world is constantly refined, but how do we separate fact from fiction? How do we build a robust understanding of the world around us? The answer lies in a crucial concept: justification. Justification refers to the process of providing evidence and sound reasoning to support a knowledge claim. Simply stating something as true isn't enough. We need to back it up with verifiable evidence and logical arguments. This is the foundation upon which reliable knowledge is built. Imagine someone claiming that the Earth is flat. This claim lacks justification. There's a wealth of evidence, from scientific observations to satellite imagery, that overwhelmingly support the fact that Earth is a sphere. However, justification doesn't demand absolute certainty. Science progresses through a constant cycle of proposing theories, gathering evidence, and refining those theories. The theory of evolution, for example, is supported by a vast amount of evidence, from fossils to genetics, but it continues to be refined as new discoveries come to light. The importance of justification extends beyond scientific knowledge. In everyday life, we encounter countless claims and opinions. By demanding justification, we develop critical thinking skills, allowing us to assess the credibility of information and well-informed conclusions. Now let's dive into a concept that challenges the very notion of absolute certainty: skepticism. Skepticism, championed by philosophers like David Hume, is the questioning of all claims to absolute knowledge. Skeptics argue that even the most compelling evidence might be overturned by future discoveries. Science itself thrives on this healthy skepticism, constantly testing and refining established theories in the face of new evidence. Imagine the concept of gravity. Newton's law of universal gravitation provides a powerful explanation for how objects attract each other. But it wasn't until Einstein's theory of general relativity that we understood gravity in a whole new light. Skepticism, in this case, paved the way for a deeper understanding of the universe. However, skepticism shouldn't be confused with blind doubt. It's about approaching all claims with a critical eye, demanding evidence and questioning assumptions. This critical thinking allows us to sift through information, evaluate its credibility, and ultimately build a more robust understanding of the world. The pursuit of knowledge is an ongoing journey, not a destination. Our journey through the limitations of knowledge has reached its end, but the quest for understanding continues. We've explored the filters of our senses, the processing power of our brains, and the power and pitfalls of language, the influence of experience, the ever-evolving nature of scientific theories, the challenges of measurement, and the importance of skepticism and justification. These limitations remind us that the universe is a vast and intricate place, and our understanding is constantly evolving. But within these limitations lies a profound opportunity. The pursuit of knowledge is a never-ending adventure, filled with curiosity, exploration, and the joy of discovery. So keep questioning, keep exploring, keep challenging assumptions. Embrace the wonder of the universe and the thrill of discovery, because the greatest limitations are the ones we place on ourselves. Thank you everyone for watching. My name's The Big Why. Don't forget to drop a like, and if you're new to the Why Not family, a follow. And I'll catch you guys in the next video.